How do you jump into a mud puddle in the middle of January? Well, head to Hurricane and do it on a trail called Wayne's World. We've got all the details for you on today's show.
Then, the Parris RV Safari continues with a museum trip as we head down to Deer Lodge, Montana to visit the old Montana prison complex and, of course, Chad's favorite, an antique car museum.
And finally, a far jump from Montana, Reece takes us to the capital of Lithuania to learn about some of the city's ancient history and brilliant architecture. It's all coming up right now on At Your Leisure.
You know, this day reminds me of like something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
Well, are you getting married?
Not again. No.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Rita Rossi Booth. And we're at the winter 4x4 Jeep Jamboree out here in Hurricane, Utah. And what a fabulous day it is today.
I'm still trying to figure out the old, new, borrowed blue.
Oh, you know.
Okay, so old is us. New is the trail.
Yes.
Okay, borrowed is the fact that we are riding instead of driving a Jeep today.
Right.
Okay, and blue is...
the sky.
The sky.
The
there you
fabulous,
go. All right.
warm,
All right,
sunny, clear sky.
Now I get
Woo.
it. Well, this new trail is called Wayne's World, and it's a very technical trail. It's a 6. And it's brand new for this year, and I guess to find out about it, we should just ask the guy himself. Let's talk to Wayne.
Good to go, Wayne.
Okay, moving out. I've been involved 3 years with the Winter Jamboree. I live in St. George. Moved here 4 years ago. I've been jeeping all my adult life. And I'm one of the old guys. I've had Jeeps and jeeping for 56 years. We started working on it in March of 2018, and we finished about the 1st of November 2018. I said, I don't care what we call it doesn't make a difference to me. Heck, call it Wayne's World. And I was kidding, and they said, okay, that's what we'll do. I said, no, I was kidding. They said, no, that's what we're gonna do. I said, okay, it's Wayne's World. It can be used every day of the year, throughout the day. The Sand Hollow recreation area is dedicated to off-road vehicles, and it's 20,000 acres, and we're very fortunate to have it in the off-road community. I guess my favorite part is seeing the people that come here for the first time, and they're absolutely amazed that here in southern Utah we have one of the #1 off-roading places in the United States. And when you think about it, you say 20,000 acres. That's miles and miles and miles long and miles and miles and miles wide. And you say, yeah, that's right, it is. Okay, we're coming up to the first obstacle here. Watch the Jeep in front of you. Take a look at the line. Keep it tight so the Jeep behind you can see the line. I'll slow down here a little bit, so start gathering up. And if you need to be spotted, let us know, and we'll spot you through the more difficult spots. Being able just to get on a scenic dirt road out in the middle of the desert and the mountains, and you know, the fresh air, the animals, the wildlife. It's just a great outdoor sport.
Just beyond the ridge behind us is a part of Wayne's World that is probably the most technical of the whole trip, because you are twisting back and forth, so you're off camber rolling on the side, which is where a Jeep tips over easily.
Yeah, and that's why it's so exciting to watch.
That's true. But I'm convinced after talking to Wayne and seeing this that he's got a sadistical streak to him.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, but you know what? He blazed this trail. It took him almost a year to make this trail, so it's really awesome.
That's true. Right now it's time for us to take off to our Where To adventure. We are going to find out how much of the Old West is captured in museums in our Parris RV Safari adventure story.
Well, we are on our 2019 RV Safari, and we have found the cutest little town.
Oh no, this is the most educational town ever. You know, when you roll into a new town, and you've never been there before, you may not know what you're going to find. And that's what happened when we got off the freeway and down into downtown Deer Lodge, Montana. Within a couple blocks in one town,
You've got an Old West museum, a farm museum, a World War II museum, the world's biggest prison museum, and you've got 140 cars. We got to check it out.
With so many museums and so little time, we had to make some choices. So I picked the prison museum and Chad picked the cars. What else?
Of course, we might have been able to take in 3, but between the decision and the door, there are just so many distractions.
Prisons both fascinate me and scare me. So I'm not sure why I was so drawn to tour this old prison. I couldn't figure out why it seemed so familiar. It wasn't because I spent time there. It was something else. Then it hit me. If you recall, 3 years ago, we toured Alcatraz on our RV safari, and this place was a mirror image of the Rock. As it turns out, they were built at almost the same time. But Montana actually predates the construction of Alcatraz by 3 years, and it was the last prison of that era to close in 1979, some 15 years after Alcatraz was shut down. Now, I'm sure the reason I get so creeped out about cell blocks is because I am very claustrophobic and a little bit of a germaphobe. Actually, a big bit of a germaphobe. So a dark, old, dingy prison cell is the last place on earth I would ever want to spend time in. Chad, on the other hand...
That's really creepy. Anyway, I guess I'm stuck in here for a while. If you don't see me on the show forever, you'll know why. Somebody out there, please bake a cake with a file in it and send it to Chad at the old Montana prison.
Ever notice that Chad seems to have an attraction to bars? From a cell looking out at a prison or from the street looking in at cars?
That's why I would go. Inside this building, all I see is car after antique car.
Well, that's because cars have pretty much been the central theme of my life.
On the way home from the hospital, my mom says I cried. She later figured out it's because I couldn't drive.
And when you've got 140 of them to cruise through, it is just too much to resist. Pick the decade from 1902 to the late 1970s, and you would find it here, from a gangster-friendly air-cooled Franklin to one of the cars from the Mad Max series, or the Incarnate car that inspired Doc Hudson in the movie Cars. It was totally a trip down memory lane.
We had a 2-door Plymouth just like this. I was standing in the back seat, and I had my head out the window like a dog. And of course it had a long door because it was a 2-door. So my head's behind her and she rolls up the window and rolls my head up in the window.
From maximum security to maximum horsepower, Chad and I agreed on one thing. Deer Lodge, Montana has preserved the heart of the Old West through its museums.
Rhea and I will be right back with more of AYL in just a minute.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
Meet the new leader in off-road utility, the completely reinvented Ranger XP1000. It's got the most power, the largest towing capacity, the highest ground clearance, and the best comfort and storage. Introducing the all-new Polaris Ranger XP1000, the hardest working, smoothest riding Ranger ever built.
At Parris RV, you can count on 5 things. A huge inventory of RVs, great service, a large variety of accessories. Now, 2 locations and 14 brands of toy haulers. From Vortex, Striker, Attitude, Powerlight, Highlander, Thunderbolt, Boost, Hyperlight, Nitro, Sandsport, Salem Cruise Light, Iconic, Cyclone, and Sandstorm. Parris RV, 4360 South State, and now 5545 South State, and online at parrisrv.com.
Parris RV is Utah's #1 volume toy hauler dealer. This week's What's New segment is brought to you by TuneX of South Jordan and West Valley. More than just tune-ups, we're off-road.
Hey guys, welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Zack Cipriano with my buddy Dale Lewis from Fortress Clothing to talk to me about how this could really save my life one day.
Absolutely save your life. So what you're wearing is a new patented technology. We actually are a technology company that have made clothing. So you're wearing our Base Pro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go base here. This is our innovative Base Pro. This base layer substitutes 3 layers. You literally can wear that in place of 3 layers. So the Base Pro, you've got both underneath your Fortress bibs, and then you've also got the Fortress Base Pro top.
Well, I feel like I could take this off, and I'm still feeling warm. I'm still feeling good.
Yeah. We have technology that will keep you warm even if wet. Nobody can prove that they're this good, except for we found a way to prove it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I figured we're out here, we could snowmobile, we can hang out in the snow. I mean, great way to test staying warm all day.
Brought the poles, we can do a little dunking of some worms and get some ice fishing in.
Absolutely. I think that's a great way to test it.
So a good way to go. Oh, and we've also cut a hole in the ice, and we're gonna jump into the hole in the ice so that you can see if you were soaking wet, whether A, you would die, or B, you'd come back and be warm.
Where? Look at this. Is there a monster under there? Cowabunga. Oh, that is cold. Oh, did it go all the way under?
Yeah, you did.
Why is my voice high? Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm so cold. I'm so cold. Oh, I got like a brain freeze on the outside of me. Oh my gosh. Oh. My core's getting warmer. I'm karate kidding the water off. Seriously, my core is warm. Okay, I'm warm from here to here. Oh my gosh. What is this witchcraft?
It's nuts, isn't it?
Dale, you're a freaking wizard, man.
No. It's just nuts, isn't it?
I'm not even kidding. Like, my voice is at a normal octave. That's how you can tell.
You can tell, can't you?
I am wet. I'm still soaking wet. My feet are getting warm. I was shocked by how cold that was, and I'm shocked by how warm I am right now. And this, I'm like doing what I can to not make it sound like a sales pitch, but I'm so friggin' amazed at how well this works.
And that's the beauty of it. It works even when wet, and it works when dry. So you go to fortressclothing.com and put on AYL20 as a coupon code, get 20% off anything in stock.
Still warm. Well, I'm Zack from At Your Leisure. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have more for you.
From the trail to the heart of the backcountry, discover that Ski-Doo feeling with the 2019 Ski-Doo Trail and Crossover sleds.
The boat buying event you've been waiting for.
The Boat Show and Water Sports Expo, February 7th through the 10th.
Great fun for the whole family.
Watch wakeboard pros on the 300-foot rail jam.
Buy the boat of your dreams with special show financing.
Register to win a 5-day Alaskan fishing trip courtesy of RW Fishing.
ABC4 Utah and CW30 invite you to the Boat Show and Water Sports Expo, February 7th through the 10th at the Mountain America Expo.
Tickets at utahboatshow.com.
The boat show is here, better climb aboard.
My daughter and I had just finished a run at this place called Eagle Point. It's this really cool but kind of challenging ski resort that has a real family feel to it. She was so excited because she beat me down the run. Deja vu. I saw myself as a kid out skiing my mom. It was a big moment for me. And all of a sudden it hit me. I was making the same memories for her.
Conquer the summit and catch that Ski-Doo feeling with the 2019 Ski-Doo Mountain Sleds.
All right, welcome back to At Your Leisure. We are down here in Hurricane for the Winter 4x4 Jamboree, and we are literally going up over the top of the peak and down the other side, and it's a lot of this. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, you better have a really good rig to tackle this trail because it is challenging, but it is awesome.
That's true. A little windy today, but it's still pleasant weather and bright sunshine. So how can you not be happy?
Yeah, it's getting a little windy up here at the top, but it's worth it.
So there have been a lot of challenges today on the trail. A lot of people have puckered a little bit. Let's find out what they think about this particular Wings World Trail.
This trail that we're on here, Wayne's World, is coming up close with Milt's Mile, which is my favorite so far that we've ran out here. I've been off-roading now for probably 8 or 9 years straight. I've been around off-road for almost all my life though.
Gosh, I've been off-roading all my life, so 40, 45 years.
I got into it after I met him, and we used to do more of the sand dunes, and then we got into jeeping probably about 12 years ago. We've been here for several years in the past, and we love coming every single year.
This is our first time at Winter 4x4 Jamboree. We've been following it for a couple years, but this is the first time we've been able to come out.
We've done some pretty challenging ones. There's a really pretty scenic one called the Barracks, which is outside of Zion, and it's probably one of our favorite trails.
Love my new JL. It's green, it stands out.
And we've had lots of different variations of Jeeps, and this is definitely our favorite so far.
Favorite part of 4x4 Jamboree is just getting out with my buddies, getting outside and enjoying outdoors, getting out of the buildings and you know, just the camaraderie and all that. This is really the first organized event we've done, and we're really liking it so far. Normally we just do our group by ourselves.
Hola!
So despite all of the challenges that Wayne put into this course, everybody's having a great time.
And they all have AYL stickers on their vehicles, which is very impressive.
Which is going to be really hard for us to pick a winner.
It's just so much fun to see these people challenging their vehicles and their driving abilities. Really, we're having a blast.
That's true. We are going to take a break from here, though. We are going to wander halfway around the world and find out how they trek in Lithuania.
I'm Reece at your leisure in a world capital you've probably never even heard of, let alone considered coming to. But for a great cultural experience, astounding architecture, a tumultuous history that dates back hundreds of years, but an easy, laid-back vibe, give Vilnius a try. Well, the Pope is.
Pope Francis just happened to follow us to Vilnius. Here in the city's main cathedral, he will worship with thousands of Roman Catholic faithful. Merchants spruce things up for the visit. Vilnius is the capital of Lithuania, one of the 3 Baltic nations in Eastern Europe, but maybe not number 1 on your bucket list.
We had heard of Vilnius and we did know where it was, but it was our good friends Marianne and Reece that made us come here.
Our friends Anne and Mike Taylor flew in from England to help celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary.
Vilnius is a surprising city in that it is architecturally brilliant. It was one of those cities that before I came, I wasn't quite sure what to expect.
Vilnius's restored center dates from the Middle Ages, anchored by the basilica with the monument to Gediminas, founder of the city in the 14th century. Pilia Street runs up the heart of Old Town. This cobblestone pedestrian mall is the main tourist draw, with lots of sidewalk cafes, all kinds of fun shops, and lots of history. At number 26 in 1918, the Lithuanian Council signed the Act of Independence from Russia. The current Lithuanian White House dates from the 14th century. At the other end of Pilia Street, the Gates of Dawn, only remaining of 10 ancient portals to the city. Above the opening, a tiny chapel with a 17th century portrait of the Virgin Mary clad in gold leaf, an iconic symbol of Vilnius.
Vilnius is a beautiful city. It has vibrancy, it's got stunning architecture, the people are beautiful, very friendly.
Founded in 1579, Vilnius University is one of the oldest in Northern Europe. In its main square on Pilia Street, we ambushed third-year psych student Crispin Loftus for a brief Q&A. Crispin tells us university tuition is free in the Baltics, if you keep your grades up. And a must-stop is the tiny campus bookstore with its low vaulted ceiling, painted with frescoes of professors and students. The red brick Church of St. Anne, dating from 1500, is a classic example of the city's early Gothic architecture. And as magnificent as it is on the outside, the Baroque Church of St. Peter and Paul is equally stunning inside, with its unique crystal and bronze chandelier in the shape of a ship, and 2,000 stucco figures lining the chapel. You immediately know the occupation of the residents of these homes, who decorate exterior walls with examples of their trade. This is apparently home of the tattoo artist. Across the Vilna River is, as you can see by the sign, the self-proclaimed Republic of Ushupio, a bohemian-style neighborhood complete with its own constitution in 23 languages, inscribed in steel plates on a city wall, and containing a bill of 41 rights, including number 12, a dog has the right to be a dog. Ushupio celebrates its independence, appropriately enough, on April 1st.
The little community that went off into their own, I just think it's got a very homely and warm feeling to it, and I quite like that feeling.
Vilnius suffered the horrors of the Holocaust and 45 years of Soviet oppression. We met Irene, whose father was murdered by the Soviets, and she, her mother, and brother were among 130,000 Lithuanians loaded into rail cars like this and shipped off to Siberian labor camps.
And how old is she?
92.
How long did she live in Siberia?
Kiek metų išgyveno Sibire?
Susumavus viską, tai 17.
17 years she spent in Siberia.
Since independence in 1990, Lithuania has evolved into a modern member of the European Union, but shows off its medieval roots to an ever-increasing number of tourists who play a big role in its economic revival.
Well, there's a beautiful river, beautiful buildings, the churches, the people, very friendly, vibrant. Really, really recommend it as a destination to come.
Reece at your leisure, along the way in Vilnius, Lithuania.
We are very glad that we've been to Vilnius, and it's made us think more about Eastern European cities, towns that we would like to go and visit again now.
From the trail to the heart of the backcountry, discover that Ski-Doo feeling with the 2019 Ski-Doo Trail and Crossover sleds.
Put some adventure in your life and attend
the Sportsman's Vacation and RV Show, February 14th through the 17th at the Mountain America Expo.
See hundreds of new RVs, motorhomes, travel trailers, and accessories.
Buy at the show and save. Take advantage of special show financing.
Find RV accessories, fishing, and RV travel destinations.
Gourmet and Dutch oven cooking classes.
Register to win an Alaskan fishing trip.
EBC4 Utah and CW30 invite you to the RV Show, February 14th through the 17th.
Living in Utah, we're lucky we can enjoy riding our recreational vehicles year-round in the mountains, at the dunes, rock crawling, or road riding. Stedman's Recreation has Utah's largest selection of Honda, Polaris, Yamaha, and Beta machines. See them all at Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. Need a tune-up, new tires, or accessories? Stedman's Service Department can help.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You may think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
conquer the summit and catch that Ski-Doo feeling with the 2019 Ski-Doo Mountain Sleds.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. This is not the real deal, but it's the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
This is actually something that's kind of fun that's happening at the Winter 4x4 Jamboree. Is you can come down here and you can run RC rock crawler rigs.
Yeah.
And they've got a contest going.
So, like, you can take your own rock crawler, your remote control rock crawler,
Or they'll give you one.
They'll give you one, and then whoever has the fastest time at the end of the 3-day
Yeah,
event.
I think it's $1 a run for charity, and then at the end of the day, at the end of the run, the guy who's got the best time of 3 runs is actually going to win one of these units.
It's amazing.
It's kind of fun.
It's just so fun.
Yeah, there's even a tunnel or an arch to drive under.
Well, look how challenging it is. It's really great.
It's pretty cool. You know, what's really good about this is that it allows people a chance, if they can't afford to actually buy a rock crawler, to learn the techniques of balance and chassis and picking a line. And,
It's
so
really
it's actually kind of cool. Well, we got a lot of cool stuff going on too, and it's all coming down the road. Let's check out our calendar of events.
Yeah.
Coming up on February 1st, Eagles Landing is hosting their 4th annual golf charity event with proceeds going to veterans of Utah and Nevada, and the AYL crew will be there filming and participating in the event, so be sure to check it out.
Yeah, it's down at the Palms Golf Course in Mesquite.
Nice.
Then the second week of February, we'll be at the Boat Show at the Mountain America Expo Center, and the following weekend, we'll be at the RV Show at the same location.
Now it's time to take a look at our contest winner. This week's winner was found at the Winter 4x4 Jamboree, and the license number is HPYPLC. Happy Place.
Oh boy. Well, now they're going to be really in a happy place with a brand new Mountain Series Camp Chef stove. I tell you, they are so easy to use and so compact. Congratulations, and be sure to call 801-947-8888 to claim your prize. Now it's time to take a look at next week's show.
Next week, we're going to be at the Jorgensen's Winterfest with snowshoeing demos, snowmobile rides, and fat bike tire races. It's going to be a blast.
Oh, that is sure true. And then our Parris RV Safari continues as we take a trip down to one of my favorite childhood spots, Hebgen Lake.
Finally, our new team member, Sam, takes us into the mountains to show us an exciting new snow sport you won't want to miss.
Well, next week's show looks pretty good. In fact, I'm pretty excited about it. Just keep finding fun things to do.
Like food.
Like food. Yeah, you can always end up the day with food here at the Winter 4x4 Jamboree. On Friday night, you got a food truck, and then they have a big banquet on Saturday night to wrap up the whole event. Then they do a raffle and give away prizes, so it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, there's always something to do. If you're not on the trail, it's just fun to hang out here with the vendors.
Right. So mark a place in your calendar next year to come down and participate in this event. And, well, we've got dinner to eat and trails to plan for tomorrow. So remember, there's adventure around every bend.
Just got to get out there and create your own adventure.
At your leisure. Oh, I got to try that pork.
It looks good.